Exploration is at the heart of Assassin's Creed Shadows. After all, we're finally getting to explore feudal Japan, and Ubisoft have understood how crucial this will be to player experience, as showcased in their latest exploration overview. So in this video I'm going to go over all the major updates revealed for exploration in Assassin's Creed Shadows. And the first upgrade to the exploration mechanics that I want to talk about is the world map. You start the game with an unexplored map, but they don't litter it with symbols and markers to overwhelm you. Instead, it is down to you as a player to explore the world and discover these locations for yourself. As you move throughout the world of Assassin's Creed Shadows, the map will fill in a radius around your character, allowing you to find new locations and objectives around you. The map itself will give you some minor guidance, offering drawings for potential key locations, similar to how Mirage structured it, and there are different zoom levels to the map which can give you more detail. For example, the furthest out zoom allows you to see provinces, the next level opens up towns, villages and close by markers, and as you go further in you can see a lot more about specific locations, with the furthest level offering you more local information, ideal for larger cities with a lot going on, such as Kyoto. Interestingly, on the map as you zoom through, you can also see undiscovered locations nearby, shown as these question marks, which you can select a waypoint for and then truly discover when you reach that location. Now this next feature might be a little bit of a dividing one for some people, but as you look through the map you can see that certain locations and provinces have suggested levels above them, meaning if you are underleveled and try to fight in these locations, you may not be ready just yet. I personally don't mind this, as when I play games I explore everything and do every quest, meaning leveling isn't usually too much of an issue, but I can understand that for some people this may feel like you're being restricted in your exploration. I think you'll be able to still go to these locations no problem. I think if you just want to do the objectives in there, it may pose more of a challenge. The final key piece of information we got about the map is the season icon on the compass in the top right. On this map we see a sun, likely representing the summer season. However, on another piece of footage we see a red leaf indicating what I think is autumn. We know that seasons play a massive role and the game will respond depending on the weather. For example, you'll get lakes that freeze over offering new routes in the winter, as well as seasons offering scout resets, wanted level resets, and other similar mechanics. On the map though, we can see a prompt to change the season. I would be very surprised if this is something we can do manually, as they have said that that isn't a feature, and therefore this may just be a developer function on their version of the game, but we will have to see on release. The world map gives a great overview of where to go, but when you actually get to that location, it will be on you as a player to discover it properly. And one of the best ways to do this is through the classic Viewpoint system. Now if you didn't know, they actually weren't going to add the infamous panoramic synchronization originally, but with the extra development time from the delay, they've added this back in. Viewpoints will be in different locations across the map, some actually within enemy territory, such as on top of the Tenshu, the highest point of a castle. This will definitely cause some difficulty getting to them, which for the majority of viewpoints both characters can do, just with different approaches. Naoe can use her parkour and stealth abilities such as the grapple hook to climb the outside of the building, but Yasuke will have to take a more manual approach due to his restricted parkour, such as the stairs, which are full of enemies. Have fun, Yasuke. You can see though this open door at the top, which Yasuke must be able to exit through and then climb up the wooden framework on the side here. Viewpoints will act as an opportunity to fully explore your local surroundings by using the observe mechanic, which I've gone through in my stealth overview. You'll be able to see undiscovered locations and key objectives which can then be marked and routed out. Viewpoints will not reveal large areas of the map like they have in previous installments, which I think is a good thing because it puts the focus on you as a player to actually go and explore these places instead of just ticking them off the list as you get nearby. Finally, viewpoints will still act as fast travel locations, but you have to be careful once again because, as I said, some of these are located in enemy territory, which may not be the safest thing to get back out from. There are, however, much more convenient fast travel locations in the form of Safehouses, or kakurega, which means hideout in Japanese. These are locations strategically placed in safe areas of the map, which act as smaller hubs for your fully customizable shinobi hideout and allow the player to stop, resupply equipment such as rations and consumables, craft new gear, and manage your scouts. And scouts are one of the more interesting systems that have been upgraded for Assassin's Creed Shadows. I want to make a full in-depth video on this because of how interesting I think they are, but here's the overview. Scouts can be recruited throughout the game and serve a few different functions such as helping locate quest objectives, gathering hideout resources, or resetting your wanted system. You can choose to deploy scouts on the world map to identify any key objectives in that area that you haven't been able to find yourself. The more scouts you apply, as you can see here, either 1, 2 or 3, the larger the radius, and this can be extremely helpful so you don't miss anything before launching your attack. As mentioned, you can use your scouts to reset your wanted system, which is usually only available at the end of an in-game season. However, you can use them to cover your tracks if you want to get away quicker. And the final thing you can use scouts for, which I'm going to cover in this video, is to smuggle resources. When looting some clan strongholds, you will come across resources which one person cannot simply loot by themselves. Instead, you'll have to put a marking for your scouts to claim this at the end of the current season in a mechanic called smuggling. These resources can be used to gather hideout materials, which will help upgrade and customize your home. This will, however, take your scout out of commission, so scouts will almost be this own resource which you'll have to manage throughout the game. So far, the game has given us lots of ways to get new information, but what do we actually do with it? Well, that's where the newly tweaked objective board comes into play. The objective board is a revamped quest log and provides a central hub for our gathered information, character overviews and targets to take down. You can see that there are different sections which open up as you gain new info, take new quests or learn more about different characters. A few key highlights of the reveal so far is that we can see where our Assassin League characters can be identified, and although we can't see any information on this particular member, we know that it will show us quests related to them, similar to the Homestead missions from Assassin's Creed 3, and a bit more of their backstory. Further down, we can see the Onryo, who look like a very unique set of enemies that we may have to hunt down throughout the game. I've heard speculation that this may be our Cult of Cosmos or Templars, which I think is likely, but they could also represent the Guardians or Bounty Hunters in the game. To be honest, I'm not sure at this stage and would love to know your thoughts down in the comments. The objective board also shows us how the NPCs can give us quests and more information about other objectives, such as this character who opens up a series of enemies to hunt down called the Kabukomono. You can also see the rewards for completing each of these quests and the overall rewards for taking out each of these members, which gives a bunch of XP and some new abilities for the characters. The last thing that this objective board covers is the hideout functions up at the top here. This is where I imagine we can upgrade our horse, scout, craft new items and consumables, potentially equip or upgrade gear, and manage our collectibles and decorations, such as these drawings of wild animals called Sumi, which Nawe and Yasuke can complete throughout the world. The final new system covered in the exploration overview is the new Pathfinder mechanic while riding a horse. Due to the dense environment and world that have been created in Assassin's Creed Shadows, they've given us an accessibility mechanic to show us the optimal way to get to our destination. This is done through a white line on the ground which can be turned on and off, so if you're like me, this can be quite helpful if you get stuck up a mountain while exploring. That covers all the exploration news we got so far about Assassin's Creed Shadows. If you want to stay up to date with more content, I recommend subscribing, as on the 23rd all of the player content will come out from everyone who's tested the games, which I'll be sure to cover on this channel.